today we'll discuss about female heterogamety. Female heterogamety. Okay, female heterogamety. Okay, so when you observe here, okay, in case, okay, in the, okay, that means in XXXY type, the males and females have the same number of chromosomes, but when you observe the XXX0 type, the females, okay, the males will be having one chromosome less when compared to the number of chromosomes that are present in the females. Okay, so okay, but in some other organisms, okay, in some organisms like a, okay, in some organisms like birds, a different mechanism of sex determination is observed. In this case, the total number of chromosomes is the same in both females, but the two different types of gametes in terms of the sex chromosomes are produced by females. That is a female heterogamety. Okay, in order to have a distinction with the mechanism of sex determination described earlier, the two different sex chromosomes of female bird has been designated to be the Z and W chromosomes. So that means the male heterogamety is mentioned as XXXY type or XXX0 type, whereas the female heterogamety, okay, to differentiate the male heterogamety from female heterogamety, okay, the female heterogamety is designated as ZZZW type. That means okay, when you observe here, okay, when you observe the, okay, female heterogamety, okay, in female heterogamety, the females are having two different types of allosomes. Okay, that means in both males and females, the autosomes remain same. That means, okay, when you observe the female, okay, the female is having X, okay, 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 autosomes, two sets of autosomes plus, okay, Z and W. Whereas the males are having two sets of autosomes plus ZZ. Okay, that means, okay, during the gamete formation, what the males will produce means the males will produce only one type of gamete, that is one set of autosomes plus one set of one Z chromosome and one, okay, one set of autosomes and one Z chromosome. That means all the sperms, all the sperms have all the sperms have a similar, okay, similar type, okay, similar type of genetic composition. Okay, genetic composition. But when it comes to the females, okay, 50%, okay, females will produce ova. Okay, 50% of the ova will have autosomes plus Z, and 50% of the sperms will have autosome plus W allosome. Okay, the one set of autosomes plus W chromosome, and 50% of the ova will have, okay, 50%. Okay, 50% of the ova, okay, age, okay, autosomes plus Z chromosome, and 50% of the ova will have one set of autosomes plus W chromosome, and that is what we can observe. So here the sex of the individual, okay, the sex of the individual is determined by the type of the ovum with which the sperm will fuse. Okay, that is okay. The males will produce only one type of sperms. That means 100%. The okay, the sperms will be with the autosome plus one. Okay, one set of autosomes plus Z chromosome. 100%. There is no, because okay, they have got two Z chromosomes. But when it comes to the females are having, okay, the okay autosomes plus the two sets of autosomes plus when coming to the chromosomes or sex determining chromosomes, we'll find two types of allosomes. One is Z and the second one is W. So when you observe here, so when these two combine, we'll get a okay okay, two sets of autosomes plus Z. So the organism, okay, the sex of the organism is determined as a male. At the same time, if the okay, if these two gametes are fused, ovum with the autosomes plus W fuses with the sperm with the autosome plus W, then what is the genetic composition? Autosomes plus okay, ZW. So such organisms will be designated as a female. So here the sex of the organism is determined by the type of the ovum with which the sperm is fusing. So okay, the ovum is determining the okay, the type, okay, the ovum with the specific allosome, okay, is determining the sex of the individual. So that's why, okay, so as the females are producing different types of gametes, that's why we are calling it as a female, okay, female heterogamety, okay, female heterogamety. Okay, it is observed in birds. Okay, such a type of okay, that is such a type of mechanism we'll observe in reference to birds. In case of birds, we'll find such a female heterogamety. Okay, that is okay. Anybody regarding this is sex determination related to male heterogamety and female heterogamety?
No, sir.
Any other anybody is having any doubts regarding this? sex determination? Any doubts during regarding the sex determination?
No,
In
sir.
male heterogamety and female heterogamety.
No, sir.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Then, okay, coming to the next topic. Okay, that is what we can see here. So, in order to have a distinction with the mechanism of sex determination described earlier, that means when we comparing with the male heterogamety with that of female heterogamety, to for clear distinction of male heterogamety from female heterogamety, the male heterogamety were mentioned as XXXY type or XXX0 type. That means if you are using X or XY, okay, it indicates that organism is showing a male heterogamety. At the same time, if you observe the sex determination related to ZZW, so that means if you are using the letters ZZW to determine of that organism, it is indicating that that organism is showing the female heterogamety. That is okay. It is observed in birds. So, in order to have a distinction with the mechanism of sex determination described earlier, the two different sex chromosomes of a female bird has been designated to be the Z and the W chromosome. In these organisms, the females have one Z and one W chromosome, whereas the males have a pair of Z chromosomes besides the autosome. So autosomes remain same in both males and females, but the difference occurs with the allosomes, that is sex determining chromosome. In females, we'll find one Z chromosome and one W chromosome as allosome, whereas the males possess two Z chromosomes. That is that is what we can observe. So already we have said very clearly the humans are showing the male heterogamety and they are described as XXXY type. So that is given in detail how the sex is determined in humans genetically. So it has already been mentioned that the sex determining mechanism in case of humans is XY type, XXXY type. Okay, in females we'll find XX chromosome, whereas the males possess XY chromosomes. Okay, that is. And next, when you observe, okay, by this time you might be knowing how many number of chromosomes are present in the human means there are 23 pairs of chromosomes. So out of the 23 pairs of chromosomes present, 22 pairs are exactly same in both males and females. So when you take into when you observe the total 23, when you observe the human, totally there are about 23 pairs of totally about 23 pairs of chromosomes are there. Out of that 23 pairs of chromosomes, okay, the first 22 pairs of chromosomes are exactly similar in both males and females. These are the autosomes. Okay, these 22 pairs of chromosomes, we are calling it as autosomes. We are calling it as autosomes. Okay, and next, a pair of X chromosomes are present in the female. So when you observe the females, okay, the females possess the females possess two X chromosomes. That means a pair of X chromosomes as allosomes. So a pair of X chromosomes are present in the female, whereas the presence of X and Y chromosome are determinant of the male characteristic. So that means if those organisms which possess X and Y chromosome as allosome, those organisms are designated as males. So those organisms will show the male characteristics. Okay, that is, or they are designated as males. So that means okay, out of 23 pairs of chromosomes, 22 pairs of chromosomes are all okay, are exactly same in both males and females. There is no differentiation. But when it comes to the 23rd pair, the 23rd pair in case of females is represented by two X chromosomes or a pair of X chromosomes. Whereas in case of males, okay, this okay, the 23rd pair is represented by one X chromosome and one Y chromosome. One X chromosome and one Y chromosome. Understand? Okay, that is. And next, during spermatogenesis among males, okay, during spermatogenesis among males, two types of gametes are produced. 50% of the total sperm produced carry the X chromosome, and the rest 50% has a Y chromosome besides the autosome. So that is, so when you observe here, so during the spermatogenesis, that means okay, gametogenesis remains the same because as both the allosomes are same, there is a pair of X chromosomes are present as the 23rd pair of chromosome as allosome. So okay, there is no differentiation in the ova. Okay, all the ova will receive only autosomes plus X chromosome. But when it comes to the spermatogenesis, okay, that means the sperm formation, during sperm formation, what happens means out of the sperms that are produced, 50% sperms will receive autosomes plus one X chromosome, and at the same time 50% of the other 50% of the sperms will receive autosomes plus Y chromosome. Autosomes plus Y chromosome, that's what he is saying. Along with autosomes we'll find one, okay, in 50% of the sperms will have X chromosome and 50% of the sperms will have a Y chromosome. Okay, during spermatogenesis among males, two types of gametes are produced. Okay, 50% of the total sperm produced carry the X chromosome, and the rest 50% has Y chromosome besides the autosomes. Besides the autosomes. Females, however, produce only one type of ovum with an X chromosome. Okay, females, however, produce only one type of ovum with an X chromosome. Means females will produce only one type of ova. All the ova that are produced will have, okay, besides autosomes, they have got one X chromosome. So there is an equal probability of fertilization of the ovum with the sperm carrying either X or Y chromosome. So that means, okay, which sperm will fuse, that one we are unable to find, because the probability of okay, fusion of sperm with the X chromosome, and at the same time the probability of fusion of sperm with the Y chromosome remains equal. That means because 50% of the sperms are with X chromosome and 50% of the sperms are with the Y chromosome. So the probability of fusion with the X chromosome or Y chromosome remains the same. Okay, so in case the ovum fertilizes with the sperm carrying X chromosome, the zygote develops into a female, because the females, okay, that means okay, if the sperm carrying X chromosome fertilizes the ovum, okay, if the sperm carrying X chromosome, okay, fuses with the ovum, the resultant genetic composition will be autosome. Besides autosomes, we'll find two X chromosomes, and that organisms were determined as females. Okay, they will have besides autosomes, they'll have two X chromosomes, XX. And the fertilization of ovum with Y chromosome carrying sperm results in a male offspring. Okay, that is okay. If the sperm carrying Y chromosome, if the sperm carrying Y chromosome fuses with the ovum, because any, okay, all the ova are with X chromosome only, no, but the differentiation occurs with only sperm. So if the sperm with the Y chromosome fuses with the ovum, okay, fuses the ovum, okay, the resultant genetic constitution will, okay, will have besides autosomes, they'll have one X chromosome and one Y chromosome, and such organisms will be determined as a males. Okay, male offspring. So that is what we can see here. So thus it is evident that, okay, it is the genetic makeup of the sperm that determines the sex of the child. So from this, what we can understand, that means, okay, here the sperm is determining the sex of the child. Okay, the sperm, if it is carrying X chromosome, okay, if it fuses with the ovum, okay, it results in the female. Okay, if the sperm with Y chromosome, if the sperm with the Y chromosome fuses with the ovum, okay, the resultant offspring will be male. So here, sex of the offspring is determined by the sperm, not by the ovum. Okay, that is what we can. So it is also evident that in each pregnancy, there is always 50% probability of either a male or a female child. Okay, it is also evident, very clearly evident. Okay, that means the chance of occurrence of a male child or female child is equal, because the sperm production is 50%. 50% with X chromosome and 50% of the sperms with the Y chromosome. So the probability remains the same. So that means there is an equal chance for the occurrence of male child or female child. Okay, that is, it is unfortunate that in our society, women are blamed for giving birth to a female children and have been ostracized and ill-treated because of the false notion. So that means, that means in some part, in some parts of our country, that is, there is a sex discrimination is there. There is a sex discrimination. That means they feel that most of them, they will look for a male child. So if a female is given birth to a female child, as they are looking for a male child, if the female has given birth to a female child, then what that means, the family members or other members, they will blame the female for giving birth to the female child, but that is not exactly correct. Okay, that is why, because the sex of the offspring is determined by the type of the sperm with which the ovum fuses. So here the sex determination is done by the sperms of the male partner or a husband. Okay, that's why we should not blame a female partner for giving birth to a female child. Okay, such discrimination. At the same time, okay, we should not show any discrimination to the male and female. Okay, that is not good for the society. Okay, the sex ratio is very, very important. Already we have discussed in organisms and populations. While we are discussing about organisms and populations, we have come across this sex ratio. Okay, in India, especially in India, we are finding a lot of okay difference between sex ratio of male and female. So there are, that means there are, some females are less when compared to the male. Okay, there is a, so such a indiscrimination should not be there between females. And if a female, if a mother gives birth to a female child, we should not discriminate the mother for giving birth to a female child. Okay, because the sex is not determined by the ovum. The sex is determined by the sperm, type of the sperm. So if you want to blame for giving birth to a male child or a female child, okay, you have to blame the male partner, not the female partner, because here the sex is determined by the sperm only. Okay, that false notion, that is that means everyone is thinking that a female, the female only, the mother only responsible for it. She is only giving birth to the baby, but the sex is determined by the type of the sperm only. Okay, the mother is only providing some secure space for the growth of the embryo and developing into fetus and young one. Okay, secured place. She is providing some secured place only, but she is not okay involved in determining the sex. The sex of the offspring or young one is determined by the male because of the sperm. Okay, that's why we should not blame the female partners or women for giving birth to a female child. Okay, that is about this sex determination in human. Okay, anybody is having any doubt regarding this sex determination in human? Say yes or no.
No doubts, sir.
Understood. Okay. Next, coming to the
Understood.
sex determination in asthma.
Understood, sir.
Asthma. Okay. Next, sex determination in honeybee. Okay, sex determination in honeybee. Okay, we'll find some different method of sex determination in honeybee. Okay, different method of sex determination in honeybee. So the sex determination in honeybee is based on the number of sets of chromosomes an individual receives. So when you observe the sex determination in honeybee, the sex determination in honeybee is described as a haplodiploid method. Haplodiploid method. That means if the organism is having haploid sets of haploid chromosome, okay, it will be determined as one type of organism, that is one sex type. And if the organism is having a diploid set of chromosomes, and that will be determined as another sex type. So here the sex of the organism is determined by the sets of chromosomes. Okay, that is the sets of chromosomes. The number of sets of chromosomes that are present in the organism is determining its sex. So the sex determination in honeybee is based on the number of sets of chromosomes an individual receives. Okay, that is an offspring formed from the union of sperm and an egg develops as a female, either queen or worker. Okay, when you observe the honeybees, okay, when you observe a beehive or a bee colony, in a bee colony, we'll find three different types of bees. The first one is queen bee, and the second one is a male bee, and the third one is a worker bee. Okay, queen bee, male bee, and a worker bee. Okay, the male bees we call it as the drones. So queen bee, drones, and worker bees. Among these three group of bees, the drones are males. The remaining two, that is the queen bee and worker bees, are females. Okay, that is so the queen bee and worker bees are females. Of this queen bee and worker bee, the queen bee is a fertile female. That means okay, only the queen bee is able to produce the ova, whereas the worker bees, even though they are female, they are sterile. Sterile females, they are unable to produce the ova. They do not. They have got rudimentary sex organs. Okay, rudimentary ovaries, underdeveloped ovaries. Okay, that's why they are unable to produce the ova. That's why they are called as sterile females. The worker bees are sterile females, whereas the queen bee is the fertile female and it is having functional ovaries and produces ova.
So rudimentary means what, sir?
Rudimentary means underdeveloped, not properly developed or improperly developed, not completely developed. Okay, such structures, any structure. Okay, any structure. For example, you can say The appendix also we can say it as rudimentary because it is not completely developed in our body. Okay, we say as it is not functional, we say it as vestigial. It is how it is not having any functional role in our body in regarding digestion. That's why it is considered as a vestigial organ. But this appendix is well developed in herbivorous. Herbivorous are ruminant animals. Okay, that means when we were first evolved at that time, okay, this is functional. Appendix is functional, and gradually, as we have developed a different way of food, feeding habits, slowly the function of the appendix is reduced and it became vestigial. Okay, first it became as rudimentary and later it developed as vestigial. Okay, that is. But here, okay, the ovaries are present, but they are not working. So we say rudimentary ovaries are present. So as they are rudimentary, they do not produce ova. That's why they were called as sterile females. Okay, that is. And how the females, when you observe these honeybees, the males are haploid and the females are diploid. Whether it is a queen bee or worker bee, both are females. And all the females, whether it is a queen bee or worker bee, both are diploid. But when you observe the males are drones, which we are commonly called as drones. Okay, these are haploid. So how the haploid males are produced? How a haploid nature is observed means, okay, when you observe here, okay, first what happens means, okay, when you observe here, when you observe the beehive, okay, the queen bee will lay the eggs in the cells. Okay, when you observe, okay, do you have observed the beehive? Okay, when you observe the beehive, the beehive will be having a hexagonal structures, okay, which we call it as a cell. Okay, those hexagonal structures we call it as cells. Okay, that means when you observe here, the queen bee will lay the eggs in those cells. Okay, while constructing these cells, the worker bees are the bees which will construct this beehive, the cells in the beehive. While constructing these cells in the beehive, the worker bees, some of the cells are produced broadly. That means more lumen space, more space inside the lumen. The cells are wide, and some of the cells are narrow. Some of the cells are narrow. Narrow means very thin, very thin. Okay, some are thin and some are wide. Okay, some are thin and some are wide. Understand? So when you observe here, okay, now what happens? The queen bee undergoes copulation with the male, that is drones, and the drones will deposit their sperms into the spermatogenesis of the queen bee. After receiving the sperms from the male, now the queen bee will store the sperms, and these sperms are released in batches whenever they are required. Whenever the queen bee is laying the eggs, along with this eggs, the eggs are also, the sperms that are stored in the spermatogenesis are also released in small batches, and the fertilization occurs in the ootheca, and finally the eggs are laid in the cells of the beehive. Here what we have to think means, when already I told you, know, when you observe the beehive, some of the cells in the beehive are wider, and some of the cells in the beehive are narrow. So the queen bee will regularly move through these cells. and start laying the eggs. Okay, while it is moving, it lay the egg. Okay, while it is moving through the narrow cells, while the queen bee is the largest bee in the beehive. Okay, it is larger in size and it slowly moves through the cells of the beehive. And while it is moving, it lay the eggs. When it is moving through the narrow cells, while it is moving through the narrow cells, what it will do means, okay, because of the layer, okay, the surface is very thin. What happens? More pressure is applied on the body of the queen bee. As a result, along with the egg, some of the sperms that are present in the spermatogenesis of the queen bee are also released. As a result, the eggs get fertilized with sperm and results in the formation of diploid zygote. And this diploid zygote will develop into the females. Okay, will develop into female. That means if the eggs are fertilized with sperm, if the eggs are fertilized with sperm, then the zygote will be diploid and the diploid zygote will automatically develops into female. Okay, and next, how the males are produced means when the queen bee is passing through the wider cells, while the queen bee is passing through the wider cells, that is large sized cells, what happens? Okay, there is no much pressure applied on the body of the queen bee. As a result, what happens means the queen bee will release only eggs. Along with the eggs, no sperms were discharged. Okay, along with the sperms, okay, along with the ova, sperms are not discharged while the queen bee is passing through the wider. As a result, only eggs are produced, and these eggs will not get fertilized with the sperm because the sperms are not released. As a result, this unfertilized eggs, okay, that means the eggs are not fertilized now. Okay, and this unfertilized eggs, which are haploid, because only egg, only one set of chromosomes, and this unfertilized eggs will develop into males. As a result, the males are a haploid because the males are developed from a unfertilized eggs. Okay, that is so the males. No fertilization. That's why, okay, already while we are discussing about organisms, reproduction organism, we have come across parthenogenesis.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that is the good example for parthenogenesis is the production of males in honeybee. Okay, the production of organisms from unfertilized eggs, we call it as parthenogenesis. And in that, I already told you the three different types: telotoky, arhenotoky, telotoky, and amphitoky. Arhenotoky. This okay, in a honeybee we call it as arhenotoky. That is a production of males from unfertilized eggs. Production of males from unfertilized eggs. Okay, if the males are produced from unfertilized eggs, we are calling it as a parthenogenesis. Okay, a type of parthenogenesis, that is arhenotoky. If females are produced from unfertilized eggs, we are calling it as telotoky. Okay, depending upon the environmental conditions, if either male or female, both are able to produce. But what type of organism it will be developed based on environmental conditions, then it is called amphitoky. Okay, so this arhenotoky, that means okay, these honeybees are very good example of arhenotoky, a type of parthenogenesis. Because here the unfertilized eggs are developing into sperms. Sorry, males. Okay, the unfertilized eggs are developing into males. So such a process, okay, if organisms are developed from unfertilized eggs, it is called parthenogenesis. And in case, okay, so here, so as the males are produced from unfertilized eggs, okay, the males will have only one set of chromosomes, and that is haploid, we say. So the males are haploid, whereas the females are produced from a fertilized eggs. Okay, that is. Okay, the remaining part will continue in the next class. We have 10 minutes and come back at 3 o'clock. Okay, we'll have the next class. Okay.
Thank you, sir.